Hello students, welcome to Notebook. Did your parents ever scare you by talking about a neighbor or an acquaintance when you were being naughty? Maybe the neighbor or the acquaintance looked scary, and hearing about him made you behave properly, even if for a little while. The story we are going to discuss today is about two siblings, Maya and Nishad, who want to find out about their scary-looking neighbor, Mr. Nath. But Maya and Nishad keep quarreling about their understanding or assumptions about Mr. Nath. Why do they quarrel? We'll find out about this, but let us first learn a little about our author. This story, called Expert Detectives, was written by Sharada Dwivedi. It was taken from a novel for children called The Broken Flute. Sharada Dwivedi was born in Mumbai, India in 1942. She was a historian, researcher, and author who wrote many books on the history and culture of India. One of her most famous books is Bombay, The Cities Within. Let us now start with the story. 10-year-old Maya and 7-year-old Nishad are very intrigued or curious about Mr. Nath. They know Mr. Nath as their mother's patient. He looks ugly and scary because he has scars over his face and body. Maya is the narrator of the story. She suspects that Mr. Nath is a criminal who is hiding from the police and who has hoarded millions of rupees in his room. Nishad is full of pity for Mr. Nath and thinks he is poor and friendless. Their mother is a doctor who works at a clinic, and she has told them that Mr. Nath's scars are burn marks. But Maya likes to believe that Mr. Nath got scarred during a shootout or fight with the police. Nishad, who is nicknamed Seven, does not want to believe his elder sister. He does not wish to think badly of Mr. Nath. Nishad and Maya also know that a worker from the restaurant called Ramesh carries Mr. Nath's meals to his room every morning and evening. Since Mr. Nath does not work anywhere and stays in his room all day, the children wonder how he has the money to pay for his meals. Maya thinks that the trunk in Mr. Nath's room is full of gold and silver. Nishad wishes to end his sister's suspicions about Mr. Nath being a crook. He investigates on his own when he accompanies his mother to her clinic one day. Mr. Nath lives in a room in Shankar House, close to his mother's clinic. Nishad knocks on Mr. Nath's door and puts a bar of chocolate in his hand. He wishes to have a closer look at Mr. Nath, and he also hopes that he will invite him into his room. Mr. Nath recognizes Nishad as his doctor's son, and he is polite with him, but he does not ask him to come inside his room. However, Nishad finds out more about Mr. Nath from Ramesh. Ramesh takes Mr. Nath's meals and tea to his room 4 times a day. He says that Mr. Nath has the same food every day: 2 chapatis, dal, and a vegetable. Mr. Nath pays in cash and tips Ramesh well. Ramesh takes 2 lunches to Mr. Nath's room every Sunday because on that day he has a visitor. The visitor is a tall, fair, stout, and bespectacled man who talks a lot. Maya is very happy with Nishad's detective work and praises him. She is eager to investigate the case of Mr. Nath like an expert detective. By sorting out the facts they now know about him. But Nishad is still not ready to believe he is a criminal. He thinks Mr. Nath is too ordinary to be a criminal. Maya thinks Nishad is too simple or innocent and tries to correct his wrong beliefs. She cites the example of a Hyderabadi housebreaker whose pictures she has seen in the papers. He looks like any man on the streets. The next day, it rains heavily and the streets are flooded. The children are housebound and their school remains closed. Maya tries to do something productive or useful, while Nishad reads comic books lying on his bed. Like an expert detective, she writes down the facts they know about Mr. Nath till now on a sheet of paper. This is how she titles her case, and these are her observations. Catching a crook, expert detectives, Nishad and Maya Pandit, by appointment to the whole world. Fact 1. Their suspect's name is Mr. Nath. They do not know his first name and they are not sure if Mr. Nath is his real name. He might be using an alias or a false name if he is a criminal. Fact 2. The tenants of Shankar House, where Mr. Nath lives, think he is mad, strange and unfriendly. Fact 3. He does not talk to anyone and has no manners. Nishad protests against this fact, saying that Mr. Nath talks to him and Maya. Maya points out that he talks to them only because they are his doctor's children. Fact 4. Mr. Nath does not receive any letters. Fact 5. He has lived in room 10 of Shankar House for more than a year. Fact 6. He does not work and sits in his room all day. Fact 7. The children and some of the adults in Shankar House are scared of Mr. Nath. Fact 8. He has no guests or visitors except the stout, fair man who comes on Sundays. Fact 9. Ramesh takes his food to his room every day and gets paid immediately. Mr. Nath tips generously. Maya reads out all these facts aloud to Nishad and then wishes to know if she has missed anything. But she soon realizes that the facts have failed to move Nishad. He still thinks kindly of Mr. Nath and wants to give him a chance. He's still trying hard to find his good qualities. Maya and Nishad now start fighting over their different perceptions about Mr. Nath. Maya judges Mr. Nath by his appearance and by how his life appears from outside. Nishad wishes to go beyond appearances and try to understand Mr. Nath as a person. Nishad squarely refuses to cooperate with Maya if she is so determined to prove that Mr. Nath is a runaway crook or criminal. He leaves the room determined to befriend the lonely Mr. Nath. Have you noticed the differences between Nishad and Maya's ways of investigating the case? Maya starts from the premise that Mr. Nath is a criminal. Nishad wants to investigate the case with an open mind. He wants his investigations to prove their doubts about Mr. Nath wrong. He wants to prove that Mr. Nath is a nice man who is a victim of his circumstances, while Maya wants to confirm her suspicions and prove that Mr. Nath is a criminal. With whom do you agree, Maya or Nishad? Discuss your observations with your friends. See you soon in our other videos. Till then, happy learning.